Urgent, Steelers fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Steelers land biggest first-round steal imaginable in final NFL mock draft. This isn't happening. But it doesn't hurt to pretend. The moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. After months of speculating about how the 2025 NFL Draft will
unfold, we will soon witness which options will be on the table for the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 21st overall pick.
NFL analysts have been scrambling to get their final mocks in order, and on the eve of the draft yesterday, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk released his one and only first-round mock draft. And it included a selection I can almost guarantee you've never seen mocked to the Steelers before. With the 21st overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Florio has the Steelers taking Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. This is a peculiar selection, especially given the fact that both Oregon defensive lineman Derek Harmon and Colorado quarterback Shadir Sanders are on the board at pick 21 in this mock draft. While I'm a big fan of Loveland and believe he would give the offense a notable boost, there isn't a chance the Steelers are going this direction tonight. The Pittsburgh Steelers won't select Colston Loveland in the 2025 NFL Draft. Colston Loveland is my 8th overall player in the 2025 NFL Draft, and I certainly wouldn't complain to see the impressive tight end in Pittsburgh. Considering Florio has the Steelers taking him at pick 21, this would be the biggest first-round steal imaginable. With a nearly 66 frame and big catch radius, Loveland moves like a receiver before the catch and can create separation as well as any tight end I've graded over the past decade. However, there has been zero connection between Loveland and the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout the pre-draft process. There's a reason for this. The Steelers have a group of tight ends that they like. This includes Pat Freiermuth, whom they handed a big contract to last offseason, and Darnell Washington, who is ideal for the wide tight end role. Pittsburgh would obviously find a way to get Loveland on the field if they drafted him, but taking him is far from realistic. The Steelers never had a reported meeting with Loveland throughout the pre-draft process, and they didn't use a single top 30 pre-draft visit to bring a tight end to their facility. I'm all about taking the BPA approach in the NFL Draft, and I believe there's a good chance Colston Loveland winds up being a top 5 receiving tight end in the NFL. But Mike Florio must be completely disconnected from this team, because the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't taking Loveland with their first-round pick if he's even on the board at this point.
Pausing this news, just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest the black and gold news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Green Bay Packers are interested.
In trading for Steelers WR George Pickens, the Green Bay Packers haven't had a true number 1 wide receiver ever since Davante Adams left the Lambeau Field in 2022. After failing to find one through the draft, the franchise is now reportedly ready to make a big swing and trade for Pittsburgh Steelers mercurial wideout George Pickens.
According to Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz, the Packers have engaged in talks with the Steelers about Pickens and are serious in their interest. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, has been open to calls about the 2022 second-round pick. Schultz adds that Pickens is more available than people think, and that several other teams are considering making a move. Pickens emerged as the Steelers' top wideout in recent seasons, but there are plenty of reasons why the franchise might be keen on letting him go. The most obvious reason is that they are not ready to pay him at the top of the market after they acquired Pro Bowler DK Metcalf earlier in the offseason and signed him to a lucrative extension. Additionally, Pickens showed flashes of great talent but has been inconsistent at times and drew criticism for his behavior on the field. The Packers likely believe that Pickens can thrive and reach his full potential with a change of scenery. He would become a part of one of the NFL's youngest teams and have a stable quarterback situation unlike the Steelers' veteran-driven roster, and questions surrounding the signal caller position. Since entering the league, Pickens caught 174 passes for 2,141 yards and 12 touchdowns. Steelers rumors Pittsburgh wants out of number 21 pick will. The Steelers trade the number 21 pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, despite coming off their second consecutive playoff appearance. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in full rebuild mode entering the 2025 NFL Draft without a clear direction to take with the number
21 pick of the draft, the Steelers are reportedly seeking a trade instead of taking a quarterback in the first round. Due to rumors of poor pre-draft interviews, Shadir Sanders is now potentially in play for the Steelers at number 21. However, Pittsburgh is instead trying to move out of their spot, according to the Athletic NFL insider Diana Rossini.
There's been chatter about Shadir Sanders landing in Pittsburgh with their pick, Rossini said on the Scoop City podcast. The last time I checked, Pittsburgh was trying to move out. They're trying to get out of their spot. Rossini later said she can see the Steelers drafting a quarterback, but just does not see it happening in the first round. Pittsburgh remains the top contending team for 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers should he choose to return to the NFL in 2025. Rodgers revealed on the Pat McAfee show that he is still mulling retirement amid struggles with personal issues. Steelers' continuous quarterback debacle until they add another quarterback. The Steelers are currently slated to enter training camps with career backup Mason Rudolph as their de facto starter. Pittsburgh also has Skylar Thompson on its roster, whom the team signed in free agency from the Miami Dolphins. Rossini added that she heard general manager Omar.R wants to begin training camp with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Ideally, the 2 additions would be Rodgers and whichever rookie the team selects in the 2025 NFL Draft, but without a clear answer on either, fans can only wait and see what position the team ends the offseason in. Aside from Rodgers, the Steelers' potential veteran options in free agency are slim. Carson Wentz, Desmond Ridder, Tyler Snoop Huntley, and Brett Rypien headline the list of remaining players on the market.
Rossini also pointed out that Smith also has a connection to 36-year-old Ryan Tannehill, who has not played in the NFL since 2023. Star Jets running back could be a new Pittsburgh Steelers trade target. The New York Jets could potentially trade running
back Breece Hall, according to NFL insider Josina Anderson. Anderson says Hall has become more available over the last few days than he had been previously. With the Pittsburgh Steelers' need for a running back, would Hall be a player they would try to acquire?
League source tells me they've heard about the potential availability of Jets RB Breece Hall within the last week and a half, Anderson said. Hall would likely cost a day 3 pick. Heading into the last year of his rookie contract, Hall will be in his second season coming off a torn ACL. He was a second-round pick out of Iowa State in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Steelers lost Najee Harris this offseason and have looked for a running back to fit in with Jaylen Warren. Warren is the perceived starter, and the team hosted 9 running backs in the class, signaling they have a real chance to land someone for the future. For the Jets, that might make trading Hall much tougher. In 2024, Hall accumulated 876 rushing yards and 483 receiving yards, demonstrating that he is a multifaceted weapon capable of opening up the offense. On top of that, the connection to Aaron Rodgers as a teammate a year ago will only spur them even more over the next few hours and even days. For now, it appears likelier the Steelers would draft a running back and pair that player with Warren.
Though if they wanted more veteran insurance, Hall could make some sense. Steelers mock draft, predicting the direction Pittsburgh takes in each round. We followed all of the clues in this one. Welcome to Mock Draft Mania. With the draft just a few weeks away, I wanted to run through as many different mock scenarios as possible for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Unlike years past, this team has a lot of avenues they could take in the draft, and there is a multitude of ways for them to add more talent this year. While each scenario will play out differently, it will follow the same basic rules. We will be using the team's general needs of this team to determine picks. As well, we will try to follow the usual trends this team has when drafting. Those trends vary, naturally, but some general rules are that a first-round pick needed either Mike Tomlin and Omar.R at the Pro Day or to have been invited for a pre-draft visit. Positional coaches play a role in positions that get drafted. We have seen the secondary and receiver coach hot on the trail this year, making safety and receiver a viable selection earlier than expected. Finally, we care about who the team brought in as a pre-draft visitor. They have brought in quite a few quarterbacks as well as running backs. We have arrived at the end of Mock Draft Mania. This is it, the last mock for the 2025 draft. Here, I will be trying to do my best to follow the breadcrumbs and get this draft as perfect as possible. This is my best guess as to what the plan is for Pittsburgh, no matter what I think about the draft as a whole. A unique change to this year's final mock draft. We are projecting a trade. Pittsburgh seems desperate to move back and get another day, 2 pick. Final Pittsburgh Steelers 7-round mock draft has us following the trail of breadcrumbs. Pittsburgh Steelers receive 2025.
First round pick 25th overall 2025, third round pick 89th overall Houston Texans, receive 2025, first round pick 21st overall. They do just that, moving back a handful of spots to acquire the Texans' later third round pick.
Not a huge move, but it allows the team to still land a top prospect and pick up some extra ammo in the third round. Without further ado, here is my final crack at predicting the Steelers draft in 2025. 1 Derek Harmon, DL, Oregon Steelers mock. Draft round 1, Derek Harmon, DL, Oregon. Unless this team is dead set on taking a quarterback in the first round, it feels like Derek Harmon is the frontrunner for this selection. He has the classic size that the Steelers want in a defensive end, making him a perfect fit for this defensive line. Harmon is a sturdy prospect who shined last year at Oregon. He was constantly after the quarterback while also proving to be a stout run defender. He needs to add some strength and get a better pass rush plan, but the traits are there. Personally, I like the fit of Kenneth Grant better in the first round. I like the idea of Keanu Benton kicking out to defensive end and allowing Grant to play nose tackle. That said, there has been more interest in Harmon, making him the pick. I do have concerns with Harmon's ceiling. I don't see the elite explosion and violence you want out of a top defensive lineman, but he seems like a good starter who could take a step or two even further. 3 Wyatt Millum OL, West Virginia Steelers, mock draft round 3. Wyatt Millum, OL, West Virginia, the draft almost certainly won't go as expected positionally with the team.
While it makes sense to target the usual safety, quarterback, running back, or receiver here, the Steelers have shown dedication to improving this offensive line. Wyatt Millum did have a visit with the team, and he has some extremely strong tape backing him up. The issue is his fit at the next level. He was a tackle in college, but his short arms make him a better guard candidate. For the Steelers, they can look at him at multiple spots. He can serve as a swing tackle in his first year and put some pressure on the other 2 young tackles on the roster. If both pan out, Millum can also take some guard reps and, ideally, replace Isaac Sumalo next year if he isn't needed at tackle. While a small luxury pick this year, he has a clear path to starting sooner than later, while also adding pressure on the other tackles. I'm calling my shot. An offensive lineman is drafted earlier than later. 3 Will Howard, QB, Ohio State Steelers. Mock draft round 3, Will Howard, QB, Ohio State using the pick that was acquired from the Texans. The Steelers get their quarterback, sort of.
Ideally, I think they want Jalen Milroe given his traits, but unless this team gets back into the second round, I don't see that happening. Settling for Howard isn't that bad. He shined down the stretch for the Buckeyes and has some strong tape that makes him an intriguing prospect. His accuracy and touch are his best traits, which make him a good system quarterback. His arm strength is what is holding him back. He can place the deep ball well, but he isn't able to truly sling the ball deep. That said, I think he can carve out a career as a great backup and occasional starter. Given how weak this quarterback room is right now, Howard could vie for snaps as a rookie. More than likely, he serves as a backup, but he adds some youth and consistency to the quarterback room. 4 Riley Mills, DL, Notre Dame Steelers, mock draft. Round 4, Riley Mills, DL, Notre Dame. Riley Mills is one of my guys in this draft. Had he not been injured late in the college playoffs, he would likely be a cemented day 2 pick. In a weak defensive line class, he could even be viewed as a higher prospect. Read more Steelers mock draft landing the perfect George Pickens replacement. He shines as a pass rusher, and he could even earn some looks as a situational pass rusher as a rookie, assuming he is healthy. He needs to get stronger as a run defender, but he has the traits to grow there. Given his injury, Mills could be redshirted as a rookie and serve as a developmental backup next year. His arm length is lacking, but beyond that, he has everything you want in a defensive end and could develop into a starter down the road. 5 Dante Thornton, WR, Tennessee Steelers, mock draft round 5. Dante Thornton, WR, Tennessee. There are quite a few links between the Steelers and Dante Thornton. Zach Asani was at the Volunteers Pro Day, and it seems likely that the team ends up taking a receiver at some point in the draft. There is none more explosive than Thornton. He was a feast or famine player in college. He could vertically challenge any defense, but there would also be a lot of stretches where he disappeared from the game entirely. Add in some injury concerns, and it is hard to draft him earlier. He could add another big play threat to this team. 6 Ollie Gordon, RB, Oklahoma State Steelers, mock draft round 6. Ollie Gordon, RB, Oklahoma State.
I go back and forth as to where a running back will be taken in this class. We know the Steelers will draft someone, and a back could be added anywhere in this draft. I have a sinking feeling that Ollie Gordon is a serious target, and he can be had late. He has the classic size and power this team usually gravitates towards. He looked bad last season after a dynamic 2023. You take him knowing he can be your hammer on offense with the hope that he turns back the clock to his impressive earlier season. 7 Malachi Moore DB, Alabama Steelers, mock draft, round 7. Malachi Moore DB, Alabama. I almost put a safety in the 3rd round, and I feel like the hope is to land someone higher, but we settle for Malachi Moore. He was supposed to be one of the top prospects when he entered college, but his career never panned out due to inconsistencies and injuries. Moore can contribute as a potential 3rd safety and slot defender sooner than later. Long-term, if he can settle into his role and achieve the potential he has, he could be a Minkah Fitzpatrick replacement. For a late pick, that has to be appealing. And now, Steelers fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for the black and gold. I'll be back any moment with more Steeler Nation. News! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!